Today's the day, guys. So today's the day that we're going to shoot these broadheads and see if they'll hit in the same place as this field point at distance. So since the last video, I've made a few minor changes to the ethos. I want to go over with you real quick just to kind of be fully transparent with you guys. I was getting some fletching contact on this ham skips along with the factory stock launcher. So I went to the old whale tail launcher, and that cleaned up that problem. And I was having some timing issues with my cord wearing through because I was using the wrong lever arm. Again, I bought this rest secondhand, got those issues swapped out and fixed, and my problems went away. So we're shooting today at a large Mackenzie deer at 43 yards. So why are we at 43 yards? Well, two reasons. One, that's where the shade was at. And two, it's far enough back to be a good test, but also within my effective distance that allows me to shoot accurately. I want to be able to make good shots, the best shots I can. When you shoot these big fixed blade broadheads, it's just like shooting a bare shaft. It will tell on your inconsistencies. So they're not easy to shoot. It's a little hot out here today. I've got gnats flying everywhere. I've got my thermocell running here on the ground beside me. I got 6 different heads we're going to shoot. We're going to start with the 125 Magnus Stinger buzz cut, and then we'll move to 125 G5 Montec 3-blade, a 100 grain Magnus Stinger buzz cut, a 100 grain Schwacker field point, practice point. It's got the little blades on it, a 100 grain Rage practice point, and an 85 grain Thunderhead 3-blade. I will shoot each broadhead and then I'll follow it up with this field point. This is the 85 grain version. All of these arrows have a total weight up front of 150 grain based off of the insert weights and so forth. So yeah, this bow's been shooting really good. I think this test is going to go good for you guys. I'm going to start with the biggest one first so you can see if I can make those two hit together, all the other stuff kind of just falls into place. We put a lot of thought into this, and probably too much thought into it. Start with a good clean tear through paper with a bare shaft, and then the rest of this stuff gets really easy. Just real fine rest adjustments if you have to. I found that once I cleaned up my fletching contact and my timing on my rest, I didn't have to make any adjustments. I chased it for a few days, and then once I figured out what was going on and cleaned that up, all those issues went away. So what we're going to do is, like I say, I'll shoot the broadhead and then the field point. We'll walk down and we'll look at them, and then I'm going to shut the video off, walk back, reset up, and then do the next two. I'm not all about tearing a bunch of arrows up. Broadheads and field points and groups don't go together. So I'll shoot 2 arrows at a time, and then we'll come back and shoot the next two. We're going to start with the 125 Magnus Stinger buzz cut. That thing's a battle axe, right? Again, we're at 43 yards. My goal here is 10 ring, right? Kill zone. I'm not trying to shoot 12s or do anything. I just want to make good, clean, consistent shots and shoot my average group size. There's the broadhead. And there's the field point. So let's go look at it. I know some of y'all are thinking 43 yards is a really random distance, and it is. But it's hot. The sun's bright first thing in the morning out here. And I was looking for a shady spot. So again, we're just trying to stay in the 10 ring on this deer at this distance. I can shoot a little better than that, but we're going to pull them around, turn around here, pull these arrows, and let you take a look at what the results are. All right. So this is the broadhead. Both of those are dead center of the 10. There's my broadhead. There's my field point. So that's the first 2 arrows. We'll go back and we'll switch to the 125 G5 and we'll do the same test. 125 G5 Montec 3-blade. Now, I'm just going to tell you guys, one of the things that I've learned over the years of doing these type of tests, these fixed blade broadheads get pretty finicky, and it makes you really appreciate the forgiveness that comes from shooting an expandable broadhead. This gets a little redundant, but I want you guys to see it. That second shot wasn't great. So let's go look at them. That second shot wasn't a dandy, but it's representative of my group size at that distance. So there's my 2 impact points. This is the broadhead. This is the field point. Field point. Broadhead. Let's go try the 100 grain Magnus Stinger buzz cut. 100 grain Magnus Stinger buzz cut. Guys, over the past 4 or 5 years, I've really come to like this head for fixed blade head. It tunes and flies really good. Great penetration. It's a good head. Let's go check those out. Okay, those are the next 2. Let's see which one. This is the closest one to the center. I think that's my practice point. This one was just left of center. That's the broadhead. Not too bad. All right, let's go shoot the 85 grain 3-blade. 85 grain Thunderhead 3-blade. Y'all don't sleep on these heads like this. G5 makes a version of this as well. 1 3/16 cut in diameter, 3 blades. It's not got a massive, cut in diameter, but this is a good head. I started shooting these years ago back when we used to all shoot aluminum arrows, and you know, my total arrow weight was still more than adequate. I just didn't have, you know, FOC like some people like to have, but total arrow weight is way more important than FOC. But anyways, these arrows, these broadheads fly good. They penetrate deep. They're good heads. I've been shooting them for years. I really like them. I kind of slung that field point. But we're going to go down there and see where the broadhead hit. I didn't do a good job with that field point. But to this point, you've noticed that everything's been hitting center, right? I flung this second shot on this field point. But that broadhead landed pretty solid. So let's take a look at it anyways. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to show you what I shoot. You know, nobody's perfect. Okay. Field point. I slung it still on the 10 line, but not right there with that other arrow. That was me. 85 grain Thunderhead. Still hitting the IBO. Center of the 10. All right, that gets us through all of the fixed blade heads that I wanted to test. Now we're going to test some expandable practice points. I don't shoot expandables in the targets for the most part. For the obvious reason is that they tear a lot of stuff up, and you tear the broadheads up. So when they started building these practice points for these things, that was kind of a game changer to me. But the moral of the story is I start with the fixed blades, right? I start with the fixed blades and I make them hit with my field points, and then all this other stuff just gets really easy. So then I can just go to the bow shop and pick out whatever package of broadheads I want, and for the most part, they're going to hit right. They are going to hit right with the others. I'm fully confident in it. I've been doing this a long time, and this process works, and it's accurate. 100 grain Schwacker practice point. All right, so folks are going to say, well, that's a real long point. It don't match the profile of the field points. It changes the balance of the arrow. The front of center is all different, blah, blah, blah. I want you to look at where we started with the 125 Magnus Stinger buzz cut. Pretty long head, right? I've already proven that those will hit the same. And the profile is way different, right? So this is a much larger profile. It affects the wind a whole lot more. These don't have the opportunity to steer as much with this broadhead as they do with this one. Guys, this right here, this end of the arrow is the key. Lots of spin, lots of helical, lots of surface area. It solves lots of problems. But we're going to shoot this down there, and you're going to see that it'll hit just like everything else. If I can do my job. If this magnet will turn loose in my arrow. Okay. If I can do my job, this will hit in the same place as all the rest of them. Let's go see. I'm trying awful hard on that second shot. I want to make good shots. I want to hit right beside one there. Probably trying too hard. These ain't too bad. Broadhead just a little bit low in the 10. Field point just a little right of center. Okay. Field point. I believe it's field point. Yep. Field point. And broadhead. All right, I got one more expandable practice point that I want to try. It's a rage. I don't shoot rages. I went to the bow shop and I said, hey, guys, I'm doing this test. Do you have any practice points for expandables? And they reached in the back and rummaged through a bin and found this one. Guys up at Razorback Archery in Ash Flat. They let me send it home just to do this test, and it hits just like the rest of them. Last one, rage practice point. Again, I don't shoot rage. I'm just shooting this one for the sake of this test. Let's go look at them and wrap this one up. So again, I would just want to recap. My goal here is to make my setup very versatile. I can shoot fixed blades. I can shoot expandables. Guys, I prefer shooting expandables. The forgiveness that I get with that expandable head and the wide cuts that I get with those expandables makes it totally worth shooting those versus these fixed blade heads. But I like to have versatility, and I like to know that my setup is perfect. And that's what I achieved here today with this Elite Ethos. Guys, this is a great setup. It's shooting lights out. I'm getting a little fatigued. There's my field point. And there's the practice point, rage. This bow's ready to go to the woods. I feel fully confident that within a reasonable, effective range that I can make a great shot on a good deer. So follow these steps. Start with a good clean hole through paper with a bare shaft, and then all this other stuff gets a lot simpler. Work on yourself more than your setup. Work on your inconsistencies. Work on becoming a better archer. When you become a better archer, all this other stuff gets a whole lot easier. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, be sure to drop me a comment down below. You can reach out to me and follow me on all my social media platforms here on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Hog Wild Outdoors. We shoot a lot of fun stuff, right? We shoot a lot of 3D tournaments and whatever else comes down the pike. We love to get in the woods in the fall, and we'd like to share it with you guys. So if there's anything you'd like to see or questions or comments, be sure to send me a message, and I'll get it taken care of as quickly as I can. Thank y'all for watching.